Hey guys, welcome to week 8 of the Healthy Happy Gut program. Well done to all of you for making it this far, and I hope you guys are feeling so much better for doing this program. So this week what I want to discuss with you is how to maintain a healthy gut. So first and foremost, we made some pretty big dietary changes at the start of this 8 weeks. We took out dairy, gluten and soy. Upon reintroducing these foods, what we want to do is have one meal containing one of those items for 1 week, and then reintroduce the next item next week. The reason why we want to do this is we want to know exactly what foods are affecting us and how they affect us. So if you go and have a meal out, say Chinese for example, and you have the works, you have a dessert afterwards, so you've included in that one meal dairy, gluten and soy, after all this time of not having any of those items, you're not going to know what foods caused what issues for you. So if you want to work out specifically what those foods do to you and what symptoms occur because of those, what you can do is reintroduce one food at a time each week. So say next week you want to trial dairy, what you would do is on one day next week you would have one meal containing a little bit of dairy, and then you would wait for 3 days after that to see what changes happen. So whether you feel a little bit more lethargic afterwards, whether you get the rungs, whether you are constipated, whether you have a major breakout, whether your aches and pains are so much worse the day following, all those sort of things are signs and symptoms that you are reacting to that food. So if nothing happens, great, you know you can deal with that food in small amounts here and there. So you can continue to keep that in the diet in small amounts. So the next week, say you want to introduce gluten, then you would do the same thing. So one meal, and then you would wait at least 3 days afterwards. Take note of any symptoms that you're feeling or noticing, more brain fog, trouble focusing, moods are erratic, whatever it might be for you. And then that way you have a clear identification as to how gluten affects you. And then the next week you would then do the same with the soy item. So I know it's a long, tedious process. However, if you want to know exactly which foods are creating what symptoms for you, that's a really good way to identify that. If you don't care which foods do what and you know it makes you feel like shit and you want to keep it out of the diet for good, that's okay too. Or if you know they all give you certain symptoms as well, of course, and you don't want to go down that route of waiting another 3 weeks to introduce it all, that's okay as well. But it is a really good way to identify exactly what happens for you when you do consume those foods, and identifying whether you do have an intolerance to those. Okay? Now, next of all, what else can we do to maintain a healthy gut? So other than reintroducing those foods nice and slowly and understanding what symptoms they give you, as well as keeping them to a minimum, because we do know they cause gut inflammation in everyone to some degree. So you want to minimize those. What else you can do is include probiotic foods into your diet. This is a really good way to get a vast variety of probiotic strains into your gut. So you could include things like kombucha, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, and even homemade coconut yogurts, which I did last night myself. So yeah, include probiotic foods in your diet each week. Try and include that at least 3 days a week. Make sure you're eating a big range of vegetables as well. So at least 2 meals a day should have vegetables in them. And when I say that, I don't just mean half a cup of beans and that's your vegetable served. I mean, lunchtime, a big, nice leafy green salad with other colourful vegetables in it. And then same again at dinner time. Lots of vegetables, whether it be in a soup, stew, just steak and veg, meat and veg, whatever it might be. Make sure you're having those vegetables for at least 2 meals and aiming for about 2 to 3 cups per meal. And then if you want to go one better, making a nice vegetable omelette or serving vegetables with your breakfast as well. Vegetables, we know, make us feel so much better when we eat them. They contain so many essential nutrients that we really miss out on if we're not eating enough vegetables. So it's really important to try and eat plenty of vegetables each and every day. What else you can do is include or swap chicken stock or beef stock for bone broth. So make up a beef broth, make up a chicken broth, and keep them in your freezer at all times. So when it comes time to making a soup, stew, casserole, you name it, you've got that there in the freezer, and it's going to be so much more beneficial than having a store-bought carton of stock instead. Okay? In that broth, we know that there's also prebiotic food. So you load up your broths with garlic, leek, celery, onion. These are prebiotic foods. So when you're having that, not only is it gut healing because of the collagen and amino acids in the bone broth itself, you've also got those prebiotics from the foods or the herbs that you add into your broth as well. So it's a 2-in-1. The other thing that we want to do is include those prebiotic foods in other foods and meals throughout the day. So having lots of garlic, onion, apples, chicory root, leeks, even cacao is a prebiotic fibre, and what else? Bananas is another one. So making sure you're eating plenty of those each and every day will help to feed our beneficial bacteria. So these are the foods that help to repopulate or make our beneficial bacteria grow. Okay. We also want to make sure we are managing our stress efficiently. So we know that cortisol has a negative impact on the gut. When we have too much cortisol, it's going to cause inflammation in the gut and contribute to leaky gut again. So if you're not managing your stress and you're doing everything else right, you're still going to have gut issues at the end of the day if you're not managing your stress effectively. So make time to do something that you love each and every day, whether it be a little bit of exercise, a walk, some yoga, listening to music, having a dance, if you like playing footy or singing or journaling or goal setting. All of these sort of different things, meditation, can really help to have a nice healthy stress response, okay, and reduce those cortisol levels so that we're not feeling stressed and irritated and angry at the world. We also can start our day with a warm lemon water. This is a great kickstart to digestion, and it just helps you to set up your day right, and then from there you're more likely to make better choices throughout the day because you've had a good start to your morning. Make your goal to be to make as nutritious meals as possible. So when you are making something, even if it's a comfort food, add some veggies into it, add some herbs and spices into it to make it that little bit more healthier and more nutritious for you. So even the plain old spaghetti bolognese can be super healthy when we bulk it up with lots of vegetables, lots of garlic, onion, and then with our pasta we could do like a rice instead, or we could do zucchini noodles, we could do cauliflower rice, all different things to just add that little bit more nutrient density into your diet, okay? It's going to make you feel so much better for it. Another thing you can do is have a salad prepared for the week each week. So whether you do it on a Wednesday, whether you do it on a Sunday, it doesn't matter. make up a big salad, and it's going to make your week a lot easier, and you're going to have so many more salads in your week because it's there and ready to go. And you're not going to be likely to add a salad to your day if you're just making a little bit up, enough for that meal of the day each day, because it's time consuming, and let's face it, most of us don't have enough time on our hands to do that. So make up a big salad, have it ready to go in the fridge. The other thing you can do is cut up lots of vegetables, put it in your Ziploc bags or containers, put it back in the fruit and veg drawer in the fridge, and they're cut up ready to go, so that you're not coming home from work at 6 p.m. thinking, I'm just going to go get chips because I really don't feel like making anything. If the veggies are already cut up for you, you've got bugger all to do to make dinner, okay? I think that is about all. Oh, so we also want to make sure we can include herbal teas in the diet. Herbal teas have so many different benefits depending on which ones you have, but generally they're a really good choice for a drink to have, because they have lots of health benefits, whether it's boosting your energy, having an effect on the digestive system to calm it down. Some are also calming on the mind and relaxing. So include herbal teas where you can. That's also a good way to help your gut. And I think that is all. So to recap, we want to notice how food affects us, the dairy, gluten and soy. We want to include probiotic foods, we want to include prebiotic foods, we want to include herbal teas. We also want to swap stock for bone broth. We want to make time for something we love and enjoy. And we want to start our day off right. And we want to make our meals as nutritious as possible. Alright guys, that is it on how to maintain a healthy gut. It's not that difficult. If you can just do one or two things that I've mentioned each and every day, you will get there, and it will become just a really good habit that you've got in place for the rest of your life, and you're doing something each and every day to help take care of your guts. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to go backwards to where you started, because you've come so far in 8 weeks. Some of you have just done amazingly well and seen huge results. So don't undo that work now just because the 8 weeks is over. Keep up the good work and do everything you can to maintain that healthy, happy gut. Okay guys, have a great week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.